We've got a little more for you, including what Sonic the Hedgehog means to a very special Charlottesville boy, and the significance goes way beyond a high score in videos. Finally tonight, Sonic the Hedgehog is running wildly in the Chandler household this weekend. 12-year-old Christian Chandler of Charlottesville was the winner in a video game shopping spree. Christian is one of only about 100 winners nationally to receive $1,000 worth of Sega games and equipment. For his parents, it's just another example of how well he's doing. Christian is a high-functioning autistic child. This past fall, on his own initiative, he entered a contest based on a favorite cartoon character.
What I had to do was exactly watch Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, and I'd listen to what Sonic says at the end of it and write it down for a whole week, and then I had to mail it in, and I had to be drawn out of a hat, and I just won.
And Christian's father says it only takes a few hours for him to master an electronic game and then move on to another. I can't master any of them. That's it for now, and it's just coming up on the NBA basketball game at 5:30. It's not 6:30, it's 5:30. We'll see you back here at 11. Thanks for watching.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Winners nationally to receive $1,000 worth of Sega video games and equipment. Christian is autistic, but his entering the contest completely of his own accord was a sign to his parents of how well he is getting along.
What I had to do was exactly watch Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, and I'd listen to what Sonic says at the end of it and write it down for a whole week, and then I had to mail it in, and I had to be drawn out of a hat, and I just won.
And Christian's father says it only takes a few hours for the boy to master one of the electronic games before he moves on to another one.
Well, if you have grade schoolers in the house, they'll probably be interested in this next report. Now, if you don't, you can learn about a craze that's been sweeping the nation. NBC 12 reporter Jim Babb marched into the marketing breach today to bring us this story of Pokemon.
I'll trade you this holographic for a Japanese holographic.
You've got hundreds of these cards.
I got, yeah, some, yeah, and I've got a lot more at home.
So tell me, why do you like Pokemon?
I don't know.
You're not sure why you like it, but you do, right?
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon!
Like so many other fads, it got started with a kids' TV show. And now Pokemon is a marketing phenomenon. Kids and parents line up every Saturday at this Chesterfield County bookstore, and they dig deep.
How much did all this cost?
Stores limit $30 with a discount.
Then the games begin with Byzantine rules.
How do you play the game?
I can't explain it, it's too long.
I'll put out my Dragonair, even though it has 60 damage on it. Oh boy. And now it has 3 energy on it. Slam attack.
So if you had the time to tell me, I wouldn't understand it.
No.
I'm watching, and I still have no clue.
And think about this. This kind of thing is happening in bookstores and toy stores all around the country. If you hadn't known it before, know it now. Pokemon is big.
The biggest trend in kids' toy history, it's multi-billion dollars.
Money, big time money.
You wish you'd invested, huh?
Yeah, that's true.
Jolteon.
Jolteon. What's special about Jolteon?
He's holographic.
In Chesterfield County, I'm Jim Babb, NBC 12.
And those little cards aren't cheap. Some merchants charge about $3 for a booster.
Thank you, Mr. Clown. Bob Fenwick.
Ma'am, gentlemen, I'm Bob Fenwick. I live at 901 East Jefferson Street. And I would like to ditto the comments of the first speaker because I could not hope to match his eloquence. I also have some petitions that I collected at Fridays After 5, the City Market, and McIntyre Park. We have 646 to add to John Cruikshank's. I would also like to call special attention to a young man, Christian Chandler, who's in the audience, who spent a great deal of time making his own Save McIntyre sign.
Indeed! Is this a Fran said Ford McIntyre Park membership is required for the YMCA, and plus the lady pool will be bigger and deeper.
One speaker at a time. Thank you.
Now, I think you all are well aware of the people of this city and how they feel about McIntyre Park, how they feel about Meadow Creek Parkway. And the people in this room elected you to fulfill their desires. And I'm asking you, as many of the other speakers tonight have, to listen to the will of the people. You will have an opportunity, at least one, maybe 2 or 3 more opportunities to vote on these issues. And I'm hoping you'll keep that in mind. And when you do, you will be able to save McIntyre Park. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Brenda Lambert.
Good evening. I'm Brenda Lambert. I live at 301 Monte Vista Avenue in the city. This is Andre Hates, who lives in the county. We're here tonight to introduce a resolution from Equality Virginia that we hope the City Council will pass. Equality Virginia is a statewide organization that works for equality for gay Virginians. Our goal is to protect families, end discrimination, and create safe communities. EV is currently building statewide support to pass in the 2010 General Assembly a non-discrimination workplace law that includes LGBT employees. The law would cover sexual orientation and gender identity. We've just passed out copies of the full resolution. Here are a few highlights. Local government resolution. Whereas a diverse and inclusive community that respects and enhances the potential of all its members is crucially important to City Council's mission of making Charlottesville an excellent place to work, live, and visit. Whereas lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people are vital members of our community, including police officers, teachers, and doctors. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Charlottesville City Council calls upon the Virginia General Assembly to pass legislation codifying the basic human right of all public employees to be free from discrimination in the workplace based on race, color, religion, national origin, sex, age, marital status, disability, veteran status, and sexual orientation, including gender identity. Blacksburg and Arlington have already passed resolutions, and several other localities are in the process. I know you will want Charlottesville to be among the progressive cities and counties who send this resolution to Richmond. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Lambert.
I'm Andre Hakes. I actually live out in Orange County, but I'm an attorney here. I practice law in Charlottesville, and I organize members of the gay and lesbian community. And there are a number of people here tonight in support of this resolution. What I would ask is that the City Council take it under advisement and put it on the agenda for a meeting in September for a vote. Therefore, I've given everybody a written copy of it, and I'd ask you all please to consider it. We really need to get something done in Richmond. I'm going to ask, rather than having a whole panoply of people come up here and talk in front of everybody, I'm just going to ask those people who are here in support of this resolution tonight if y'all would stand. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
News at 6. At this hour, people are rallying in McIntyre Park to save the green space from 2 major projects, the Meadow Creek Parkway and the new YMCA.
But ahead of that, one group has put out a controversial radio ad that some at Charlottesville City Hall are questioning. NBC 29's Henry Graff is live with tonight's top story. Hi, Henry.
Hi, Sharon. The Save the McIntyre Park Committee is running those ads on radio stations as a way to promote tonight's rally and picnic that's happening here behind me in the park. First, take a listen.
Softball leagues on the field. I can't believe McIntyre Park is about to be destroyed. No more Dogwood Festival or 4th of July fireworks.
City Councilor David Brown says the ad is completely false. Brown says even with the Meadow Creek Parkway and the new YMCA slated for McIntyre, the softball fields, Dogwood Festival, and annual 4th of July fireworks will be able to remain in the park.
The timing is what's happening. As these things become closer to being a reality, there's people who really don't want to see a change.
I think what we're saying is that it's going to be compromised, and so we don't know what that compromise is going to look like yet.
And talking with Mala Cunningham just a little bit ago, trying to get a grip on exactly why they are putting out this, what it appears to be, according to city councilors, misleading information, and still quoting old figures, old numbers. And City Councilor David Brown also telling me that it is interesting that this group didn't point out the one thing that will actually disappear as a result of the parkway, the McIntyre golf course. Sharon?
Henry, anything about that ad, though, that does ring true?
2 points in the ad that rings true. First is the event that's actually happening behind me here right now. That, of course, is correct. And also, too, they do mention that parkland loss is parkland lost forever and that the park will be losing some land. That is true because when you put a YMCA in here, it's obviously going to take up some space, as will the Meadow Creek Parkway when it comes through a portion of this park as well.
Greene County investigators are looking into the cause of a house fire early this morning. It started at about 3 o'clock this morning at a home on Branchland Court. That's in the southern part of the county. We're told the fire started in a first-floor bathroom, but got quickly out of control and eventually shot through the roof. Everybody inside was able to get out safely, but one firefighter suffered minor injuries. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
The University of Virginia community is also honoring the victims of that mass shooting from 1 year ago. New tonight, the student body at UVA hosted a memorial service to honor the 49 victims who lost their lives at the nightclub in Orlando, Florida. This all unfolded on the steps of the rotunda along University Avenue. The 2-hour-long event included an opportunity for people to create art and share their tributes.
Do not hate. Hate is not so good. And to be paranoid is a bust. Feel the love that comes from us and try to feel love that you can offer, at least from within yourselves, for yourselves.
People also read the names of those killed out loud during the ceremony. The event helped to promote equality and diversity.
Rhinco Police Department arresting a Ruckersville resident on some pretty tough charges. Christine Chandler was charged for engaging in sex crimes against a family member. Both the victim and suspect live in Greene County. Chandler currently being held without bond at the Central Virginia Regional Jail. This is an ongoing investigation with additional charges pending. Anybody with details urged to contact the Greene County Sheriff's Office.
A YouTube personality called Chris Chan has just been arrested in Virginia on, of all things, incest charges. Authorities say Chan was having sex with his 79-year-old mother who has dementia. Chris Chan is a biological man, but he identifies as a woman. Reportedly, Virginia authorities initially went along with that. They classified Chris Chan as a female, and that means Chris Chan, who is an accused sex criminal, would have been housed in a women's jail. We understand that decision has been reversed, likely due to public pressure. It became public, unfortunately, for the state of Virginia, and Chan is now being considered a man by the jail. But this is not an isolated incident. Many prisons in this country do house biological men with women. This is something we predicted, many predicted, and were laughed at. Kara Dansky is one of the people who predicted this. She's the president of the U.S. chapter of the Women's Human Rights Campaign, and she joins us tonight. Kara, thanks so much for coming on. I remember very vividly when you said on our air, if we don't put the brakes on this, we're going to get men housed in women's prisons, and you were called hysterical or silly or whatever. Now you're actually seeing it happen. What's your reaction to it?
Absolutely. We know for a fact that California passed SB 132 last year. It went into effect in January of this year. We see approximately 300 applications from male prisoners to be housed in a women's prison in California. We approximate that 20 of them have been granted. There are 20 men being housed in women's prisons in California now, as far as we know. We suspect that none of the applications has been denied. We also know that in Washington state, approximately 9 male convicted felons are being housed in a women's prison. One of those men has been convicted of multiple murders of women, and another one of those men has been convicted of raping a 12-year-old girl. We know that in states all over this country, there are various policies or actual statutory laws on the books that allow for this, in fact, mandate it.
I mean, I'm not in the habit of, carrying the banner for prison inmates, but this is cruel and unusual. And even if you've been convicted of a crime as a woman, you have an expectation that you're not going to be raped in jail. I mean, has anyone brought this to court? It's so over the top, outrageous.
A couple things. One is, yes, these women are being held under absolutely torturous conditions, and there's some reporting coming out that are saying these women are absolutely terrified. It has also been preliminarily reported that one woman in a California prison has been pregnant, and that the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation is distributing condoms. Now, what this tells to me is not only that do California prison officials understand and anticipate that these men will be raping these women, they also understand that these people being transferred to women's prisons are not women, they are men. It completely uncovers the lie that, quote unquote, trans women are men, or trans women are women, and California prison officials know that.
Well, sure, if everyone in the prison was female, you probably wouldn't be distributing condoms at taxpayer expense.
The reason that they are doing this is because, yes, exactly. If these prisoners being transferred were women, pregnancy would not be a concern. This should be obvious to everyone. But the problem is that most people in America have no idea that this is going on.
Is there anybody, and I think there's so many issues, who can stop this, who can, and again, I just want to say, I don't care if you're in prison as a woman, you don't have to face, this is torture, and you shouldn't be subjected to it. Is there anyone who could stop this?
It absolutely could go to court, and I should also note it is in blatant violation of international norms that require the separation of prisoners by sex. It's also worth noting the vast majority of women in prison have not committed a violent offense, and women tend to be housed under lower security restrictions than men do. So what this is going to mean is that either when men get transferred to women's prisons, they will be held under conditions that are of lower security than they ordinarily would, or officials are going to have to increase security in women's prisons.
Right. And women are held with more lax security because they're far less prone to commit sex crimes until you put men into the female population. This is truly insane. And you called it really, really early. And I remember the derision you faced for saying that. And you've been proven right, unfortunately. Kara Dansky, thank you.
Thank you.
So this probably is not going to surprise you, but a lot of the people who push the defunding police lunacy on the country, the stuff that destroyed our cities and killed thousands of people, have been caught with private security that you're paying for. One of them just got forced to explain why she's doing this on camera. Is she embarrassed? Wait till you see this tape. We'll be right back from Budapest.